After more than 100 days of using ChatGPT, I've come to realize that I have more than 30 use cases that I've come across. So here's what I've done. I've left ChatGPT open on my browser at all times. And when I think of something that I'm trying to do, can my handy assistant Mac handle this for me? That's when I go and ask ChatGPT. I've also advised my entire team to get their own virtual robot. We're using their free version. We're not even paying for it. ChatGPT 4, which is currently $20 per month. All right, so what I'm going to do is share my screen here with you with ChatGPT that I have running and operating right here. I just spent the last maybe 30 minutes scrolling through and keeping what was an interesting use case, and I didn't even realize that I was using it for all these different things just over the course of the last 100+ days. So I'm just going to go through them just to give you an idea of all the crazy stuff that this thing can do. Maybe it'll spark a few new ideas for you and how you can use it. You'll also realize it's not all for business. Like when I go through these ideas, you'll probably start to realize it'll spur interesting use cases in your mind. And what I would recommend doing is just leaving it open in a tab, right? It's like having your employee hang out with you where you can just say, hey, can you look up some stuff for this? Or hey, can you do that? And that's kind of how I've been using this thing. So I'm sorry, Mac, I apologize. That's how I've been using Mac. All right, so let me just start from the top, and I'm just gonna kind of go through some of these use cases. Any questions you have, ask in the comments. If you need some clarification, I'm happy to go back through and kind of explain further. I'm not gonna go in intricate detail about everything, but I do wanna click through and go through everything here. So YouTube video ideas. And I asked for catchy YouTube video ideas in 65 characters or less. So there's a tip for you there. This video is about making money with YouTube AI art. It's a video that I'm gonna record because I have an idea there. Let me say all this too, actually, as well. I think these are in order, right? So this is in order from newest to oldest. So I had to scroll down really far. What would be also neat for a chat GPT would be if they gave you the date. If they were to give you the date of when you added these things and when you were responding. If you're listening, Sam Altman from OpenAI, that would be really cool if we could have the date, because here's a super interesting thing about ChatGPT that I didn't even realize until I was going through and doing this research. So let's go ahead and move to this next one. Creating a table. So I asked for some parks. Okay, here's some parks. Hey, can you put those in a table? Oh my gosh. And then I just asked, can you give me the HTML code if I want to embed this on my website? So here's the code. I haven't even done that. I was just testing that out. So there's a use case for you. Create a nice, pretty, beautiful table, get the code and embed it on your website. Here is a topic breakdown. So I'm going to just ask, explain CPI to me like I'm a newbie. And so basically here's education, right? Topic breakdown. This next one, Facebook engagement. What questions can I ask locals to encourage them to engage in our group? These are some great suggestions. So I put a star by that I thought were just things that I will use. And again, the things that were different use cases. That's why I'm just going through them now. So area research, what are 10 to 20 questions people should ask if wanting to move to an area? So one, you could ask these questions if you're looking to move to an area, right? If you're just doing your own personal research. For me, I'm doing research for our brand, the Mobile Rundown, to get content ideas, but it could be used in either way. Summarize an article. GPT can actually do this really well. You can copy and paste, have a long article, paste it in there, get yourself a summary, boom, and it summarizes it right here, concise, and it gives you a good idea about an article. Here I am using it as a Spanish translator. Now I can Google, Spanish words or whatever, and then I also just typed in, I just typed in a Spanish phrase, solamente mirando, means, just looking in English. And so it knew when I put in Spanish, it knew to, tell me what the English was. What's cool is that it keeps this, right? It's like a Rolodex of these items. So I can come back and I can like go back through and I can research. So I don't lose it. Whereas a Google search, it would disappear. So how to auto share on Facebook. So this is me doing research. Now I already knew some tools that existed out there like Zapier, but ChatGPT actually reminded me about a tool that I had used probably 6 or 7 years ago. And if I had Googled, I don't know if I would have come across this. If this, then that is what that stands for. And so really neat, while I was asking it for some tools to use, I just said, hey, what's the best way? And I let it answer me however it wanted to. It suggested a tool that I had used before in the past. Pretty amazing stuff in my opinion. Job description. I said, hey, write me a job description for this, for a salesperson. Now, quick pause. I'm not using everything verbatim. Anything that I use here or get ideas, if I use it, I'm editing everything to my liking, but I don't have to start from scratch. That's the beauty about working and having this junior advisor that's working with you 24/7, is that you're just asking for like an outline to go out and do some preliminary, some basic work. And then you can go back and you can come and make the improvements that you need to for your content. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what the next one is. YouTube summary. Now, this is interesting. I have a separate video on this you'll have to go find, but by using a Chrome extension, I'm able to get the YouTube transcript of a video, bring it over into ChatGPT instantly with a click of the button, and get a summary of what that video is about. Very helpful if you're doing video research. Here's some tweet ideas. Here are some content ideas. I'm moving to mobile. What are some things I need to think about? That one's actually similar to that other one. Welcome email newsletter. So, hey, I need to write a welcome email newsletter. Boom, give me an outline. Here you go. I think I remember. I took this, edited it, and it only took me less than 10 minutes to complete because I had a nice outline to start with. Check out this one, a response idea. I'm entering a backyard contest where they will help us rebuild our backyard. Please write a few sentences describing why we think we should win. I used this and edited it to my own personal use. And yeah, how amazing is this? So this is naming ideas. Give us 10 creative name ideas. We actually used this in a contest that we won. If you saw any of my blog income report, I shared some of those, the pictures of that contest that we did. We used ChatGPT to help us come up with the name of that. Facebook ad title ideas to help us just like have a catchy line for a Facebook ad. A satire news story. ChatGPT wrote a satire story. Rewriting a story in a different point of view. Rewrite this in the style of Jim Gaffigan. So just like rewriting a story with it using a different tone of voice and for a different angle. Blog title ideas. Make this title more clickable. Crazy blog income, insane blog income. My month in review. I mean, these are good, right? Now I'm not going into depth on what each of these are per se, but these are good because I have more and I just want to be able to, the point of this video is to hit you guys with the highlights of potential use cases. And I had no idea there were this many. Calculator code. So make a simple calculator using this. A calculator multiplies. So I tell it what to do and it gives me the code for it. And I tested it. It works. Basically, it's a simple annual salary calculator. Here's a more advanced code item. I could not get this to do exactly what I wanted, but pretty complicated stuff. I mean, it's gotten pretty close. And I think what I could do is just hand the code to, a developer and say, hey, can you help me make these final changes to make it do this? And that's where you bring in the human. So taglines, generate some ideas for taglines about being on a mission to help and motivate 100 million people launch their side hustle. So like, cool, like tagline ideas, a podcast description. I use it to help write a podcast description to change what our current description was to see, hey, can we come up with some more creative ideas? YouTube outline. So make me an outline. So for the most part, kind of use this outline to create a video. Faceless YouTube channel ideas. So this is just ideas for YouTube channels that might work. Writing a review. Please write a restaurant review for a place we enjoyed called a Big Bad Breakfast. So to get ideas. Topic research. So I attend a church that is in the United Methodist Church, and I was doing lots of research and trying to understand what's going on with the church split and why and what's happening. After clicking through a lot of articles, I actually came and asked ChatGPT, and it gave me a very good overview of what is happening. And I was like, yeah, that confirms the research that I've been doing. Course outline ideas. So if you're looking to make a course, in this example, create an outline for an SEO course for beginners. So here's that idea. Learning to code. Now here's that idea. Remember earlier when I said, hey, I've got this thing and I'm not gonna jump in and tell you just yet. Let me tell you now. So as I was doing the research on what I was going to have as these samples here, I was reminded that it doesn't forget what you talked about. So I asked ChatGPT if it could teach me to code. And where it stopped was here. I said, hey, I build sites using WordPress, and it suggested these. Hey, I might want to learn JavaScript, PHP, or SQL. That's where it ended. So this is months ago, right? So just today, I typed, okay, let's start by learning PHP. And it says, great, here's what you need to get started. First of all, I don't even understand it. Install a local development environment. So I said, okay, how do I do step one? And then it just gave me the steps of how to do step one. Now, so that's what's pretty amazing about that is that it's like your search history, but it's your conversation history. So it's not not forgetting what you guys discussed, what you and your robot, what me and Mac. This is what Mac and I recently discussed. Pretty amazing. You can come right back to that conversation and it's like you never left. Funny pickleball league names. Need I say more? I named, what do we come up with? What do we come with? I have a group where we talk about pickleball and we're trying to play the sport. Pickleball Paddle Pals is what we named that group. I can prove it to you. Let's see. Pickleball Paddle Pals. We used that. Pickleball Paddle Pals. How crazy is that? Pickleball Paddle Pals. We used ChatGPT to name a pickleball group, or I did. Create an FAQ. So here's an FAQ. Hey, what are some common questions that people might ask? Create a slogan. YouTube title ideas. I think we already talked about that. Let's adjust this idea. Let's remove the word introvert. Oh, and then I asked it to make me a thumbnail, but it cannot make me a thumbnail because it's a robot. All right, here's a summary based on the text. What are the main bullet points? So I took an article where I wrote my entire team a memo and we summarized it here in some bullet points. Boom, there we go. Email series, 12-part email series. Can you help me write a 12-part email series about creating a brand with a blog? Now, I have not used all of these things, everything that I'm going through, these case studies. I haven't necessarily used them, but I like the responses that I got. And I may use part of them or I may use them to help me further my thoughts or further my thinking or further my ideas. I for sure think that you can use ChatGPT to help you generate extra income and run your own business. If you want 100+ money-making ideas, I've got some down in the description. You can click that link and get those there and watch this next. I look forward to connecting with you. See ya.